What is going on, everyone? It's Super here and welcome to another Dragon Ball FighterZ video, changing it up a little bit, doing a regular commentary, talking about my wish list for the next wave of DLC characters or characters that we're going to see in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Now, by the way, before I get started in anything, I just want to give a shout out to this team that I created, this super team, if you want to call it, of Broly, 21, and Vegeta. God, man, this team is so much fun. Just looking at them right now, I want to play this team. But I gotta give 17 and Cooler a little bit more love, you know what I mean? I've played this team probably more than any other team, but just want to say this team is so much fun. If you guys have never tried the super team, definitely try them out. They have touches of death for days. And overall, I don't think they're like the best team in the world, because Broly, 21, they have their weaknesses, and then Vegeta's good, you know, because he has his assist and he's just a solid character. But Android 21 building so much meter, having so much damage, and having like 6 touch of death combos that I have, it's just at any point your character could die, which is one of my favorite things about this game and this team more specifically. But anyway, let's talk about the actual topic of the video. I always get sidetracked. Top 5 DLC wish list for Dragon Ball FighterZ Season 2. Either Season 2 or the new version of Dragon Ball FighterZ, which might be called Super Dragon Ball FighterZ, because the way that Arc System Works has released updates for their game has been through different versions of the game. About a year after their game comes out, they release like Guilty Gear Rev 2, stuff like that. Obviously, they're going to bring new characters. Now, I don't know if they're going to do that with a game like Dragon Ball FighterZ, because this game is incredibly successful, and it's probably the most successful fighting game that has come out in a really long time that's not named Street Fighter. This game is insanely popular, even more popular than Street Fighter at the moment. The most popular fighting game. So I don't know if they want to release a different version of it, or if they want to make this a platform like Street Fighter V is. The only negative thing about that, which I could probably go into another commentary, is that with a new game, like an actual new version and update, they could update the mechanics of the game. They could add new mechanics, like having different assists per character, doing something about the actual mechanics in game, like super dashing, having it not, you know, do a 180 360 in the air, having vanish not be 0. All right, I could make a different video about that, but you know what I mean. There's gonna be new DLC characters that are gonna be coming out for this game, new characters in the future. It's just 100% guaranteed with how popular this game is. So I'm here to talk about my top 5 and also give a couple of honorable mentions. All right, let's start off with an honorable mention, actually, and I'm going to talk a little bit about all these characters. The first honorable mention is just for me. It's just for, well, all these characters are like my choice. Like, if you want to leave your top 5 or your honorable mentions, leave them down in the comment section. I'll be interested to read your comments about it, but these are just my personal picks. Now, honorable mention number 1 is Dragon Ball Super Broly. Now, I'm making this commentary on October 11th, so obviously the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie has not come out yet. We don't know how strong, even though Broly is already set to be the strongest fighter that Goku, Vegeta have ever faced. So he's stronger than Jaron, and then Jaron, he had, there was talks that Jaron is stronger than Beerus. Of course, we haven't seen Beerus at full power. You never know. That's up for debate, whatever. It's just speculation, but we know that Broly is going to be insanely powerful, but is he going to have different moves? Is he going to have like some crazy finisher that's different from, you know, the normal Broly? And of course, he has a different look. I don't know if they're going to come out with different costumes for characters, which would solve that problem, because we know Broly's going to be giant. In the movie, he's always super tall. You know, he's not as buff in his base form, but, you know, of course, you're going to play him at the max power. And once, you know, the new Dragon Ball Super Broly powers up, you could tell he's exactly the same fucking gigantic Hulk of a character. So I think a costume would be cool, but I don't think they're going to put in costumes in this game. So that's my first honorable mention, the Dragon Ball Super version of Broly. We're gonna have to wait and see how that one turns out, as far as you know, how Broly is. So number one, I think this character's on everyone's list, is Jaron. If there's a new version of the game with updates, I think it's going to be called Super Dragon Ball FighterZ. That's just my opinion. It sounds really cool. It makes sense. And it would make sense to have a lot of Dragon Ball Super characters from the Tournament of Power. So the obvious one is Jaron. Like, Jaron is so strong that when I first saw him, my jaw was like on the floor, and I'm sure you guys had the same experience when we saw him in episode 109 and 110 of Dragon Ball Super. It was just insane how strong he was, how much more powerful he was than Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 Goku with the Spirit Bomb. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't even powered up. It's pretty much like if he was at 1% power or less than 10%, you know, because he powered up multiple times after that, breaking his limits at the end. Jaron is insanely strong, and he has a lot of techniques that will look really cool in the game. So I think Jaron is a 100% definite that he's going to be in the game, and I can't wait to see how he plays, man. Jaron, like, currently right now, before Broly comes out, is the strongest Dragon Ball Super character that's not a god. By far. Like, since Goku can't even go into the Ultra Instinct Omen, and Broly broke through his you know, barrier that, or his issues that were holding him back, unlocking new hidden power within himself, he's like fucking way stronger than anyone right now that's not a god. So Jaron for sure. Another honorable mention I want to throw out there is Hercule Satan, Mr. Satan. I think this could work, and it could be so fucking funny. There's this indie Dragon Ball game that has Hercule perfectly. I'm sorry I can't remember the name of the indie developed Dragon Ball game, but they have Hercule flying up in the air with a jetpack and having him use props, and that would be so awesome. Super dashing, use your use your jetpack. Other than that, he has a lot of different techniques. The Megaton Punch, you know, he has a lot of cool techniques that obviously could be made to affect the character. I mean, come on, like, Krillin is fighting versus Beerus, you know what I mean? Like, when it comes to the game, like, realistically, any character could fight any character. That's what I always say in video games. People are like, oh no, this character can't be in it, he's too strong. Nah, man, it's a video game. Any character could be in this game. The Grand Priest could be in this game. The only one that can't literally is Zeno, because he could just erase things with a snap of his finger. He's literally the only character that's out of the question, in my opinion, in Dragon Ball. Even the Grand Priest could be in it. So Hercule can make it with props, you know, with his martial arts, and for the super dashing, he could have a jetpack. Next up on my list is my number one character. This is just the character that I want, and I don't care what anyone says. She is not the most liked character by everyone. I guess it's like a 50-50 split. It's either you love her or you hate her. And of course, I'm talking about Kefla. Kefla is by far the strongest female character. She was probably maybe the fourth strongest character in all of the Tournament of Power. I think, man, obviously Goku was number one, Jaron was number two. I think she's stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta Evolved, but Ani Raza is right there. I don't know if she's fourth or third, because I think she could give Ani Raza a run for her money, even though it took like all the remaining Universe 7 fighters to beat him. I think she could take him, but we're not talking about power levels. But Kefla is like, you either love her or hate her. You love her because she's awesome. She likes talking shit. She has pretty much the best of both worlds from Kefla and Kale. A lot of people want Kefla, and I'm like, why? Kefla is like the much better version of her character, like her personality. A lot of people like Kefla because of her personality and stuff, like her shit talking. Kefla is like the 10 times of that. and she's really powerful, and she has one of my favorite character designs and the way she looks. I love her her red outfit, and I love her Super Saiyan 2 hair. It's all crazy, it's all over the place. She's just awesome. Like, Kefla was by far my favorite Dragon Ball Super character. Like, she's one of my favorite like new introductions of a character ever. So I think that if they would put any of the female Saiyans, it would have to be Kefla, just for me personally. Next up here, another honorable mention, Muten Roshi, Master Roshi. Now, when the Tournament of Power first started, I think we could all agree that we thought Master Roshi was the MVP, right? Like, he did so much with the power level that he has that he was the MVP. It would be cool to have him in the game. I don't know if they would have him in his normal form or in his hulked up form. Maybe that could be like some sort of install super. But I think Master Roshi would be a really cool nostalgic character to have in the game. Just having him fight would be really awesome. Having him use the Mafuba as his level 3, and since it does lock the opponent up, maybe it could be something like Android 16 that has the self-detonate, you know, insta-kill that you could use with Master Roshi, but it just takes a really like long time to start up. I don't know how they would do it, but definitely the Mafuba would be an awesome technique for him to have. Master Roshi, the Turtle Hermit, the Master of the Kamehameha, he, I think, would be an awesome pick if they do decide to go with him. So that's another honorable mention there. Next up here for my third pick, Gogeta. We already have Vegito, but I think with Gogeta possibly being in Dragon Ball Super Broly, he does have his own unique personality, even though the Dragon Ball GT version of Gogeta was like super cocky, similar to Vegito. But in the Fusion Reborn one, he really didn't even talk that much. He was just destroyed Janemba. But I think he has a lot of unique attacks that could differentiate himself from Vegito, you know, easily. And I would just like to see Gogeta on screen, like fighting. I always loved his design. I always loved the fusion look, you know, when they do the Metamori fusion. So Gogeta definitely deserves to be in there. Next honorable mention is Whis. Now, here's one that a lot of people are going to say, no, Whis is too strong. He pretty much mastered Ultra Instinct, just like every other Angel and the Grand Priest. But of course, my response is this is a video game. Krillin is fighting versus Beerus. Yamcha's fighting versus Vegito, Goku Black. It's just a video game. Any character can fight any character except for Zeno, just because he's that powerful. Like, Zeno is God, right? So he just can't be in the game. But Whis definitely could be. Whis has, you know, such a awesome fight style when we do see him fight. You know, he just flows like water. You know, he's just so smooth because his body reacts on its own. And I would love to see Whis be a part of the game. I don't know. I don't think he would make it just because we haven't really seen him fight. So a lot of his techniques that would be like a normal, you know, core circle forward, core circle back, and a button, like you don't really have that, because when he fights, his body moves on his own. He avoids all contact and he just smacks people around, right? He just karate chops Beerus in the back of the neck to put him to sleep. He doesn't really show off any of his fighting skills. So just based on that, I don't think he would make it. Same thing with like the other Angels and the Grand Priest. But I would love to see him in the game. Next up here for my number 4 is Toppo. God of Destruction Toppo. I think God of Destruction Toppo having his own like version and use of the Hakai, and maybe having a level 1 super that puts the Hakai energy around him so you could avoid all Ki Blasts. I think that might be a little bit broken if it lasts too long, because Broly has something similar with his energy shield. but it doesn't last very long, and it takes, you know, some good startup, so I don't really see too many people use it. It lasts maybe around 4 seconds, if that, maybe around 3 seconds. But having Topo have something like that would be really, really cool. And I just love the God of Destruction Topo version. Of course, you could have like regular Topo, and he has a lot of you know, command grabs that he could use, or they can make him a command grab style character like Android 16. But I think having Topo in the game would be awesome. Either or. It could be the God of Destruction Topo, or it could be the over-the-top, proud of being, you know, the leader of the Pride Troopers Topo. I wouldn't mind either one, but I would like to see him in the game. Next up here, final honorable mention is Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. Here's another character that people would say that is too strong because Mastered Ultra Instinct could avoid anything, you know, just based on reaction. Your body moves on its own. But I think having, if you're going to put in any other Goku, I think Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku would be the one, just because he's shirtless. You have to have him shirtless. You have to have him shirtless. It has to be Mastered Ultra Instinct 2. It can be Mastered, or it can be Ultra Instinct Omen. It has to be the Mastered Ultra Instinct with the gray hair and him being shirtless. He has a lot of really cool, unique attacks that he does. He has like his own little negate attack that he uses versus Jaron. Obviously, he has a flurry of attacks. He does a sort of hit style kinetic punch, like multi-kinetic punch, where he hits Jaron in the stomach. He has a lot of cool shit. So I would like to see Mastered Ultra Instinct. If we do get another Goku, that would make it maybe like 6 in the game, 5 in the game, somewhere on there. But obviously Goku's like the poster child, you know. And my final character that I think everyone would agree that would be an awesome addition to this game would be Janemba. Janemba deserves more love. This is a character that could warp dimensions. It's not quite reality warping, but he has the ability to, you know, change the structure of matter. And he has the ability to sort of alter the dimension. Like, he is insanely powerful, and he has a lot of really cool attacks. It's a shame that they literally one-shotted him when Gogeta came out, but I think that Janemba would be such a cool character to have in the game with his unique playstyle, and he's one of the best looking characters ever created, like ever. No new introductions, no movie characters, just his design is one of the absolute coolest and most badass character designs ever in Dragon Ball. By the way, check out this Touch of Death combo. Could I get a like on that? And we'll leave it on this Touch of Death combo and Janemba as my number 5 character. These were in no particular order. If it was, then I would have Kefla be number 1. But let me know your 5 DLC character wishlist for Season 2, and if you have any honorable mentions. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys subscribed if you are not already. Also, check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.